Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada hadirin yang hadir pada pagi ini. Dengan ini saya menjemput Dr. Azza Jauhar binti Ahmad Tajuddin, Timbalan Dekan Bakat dan Pendidikan, Pusat Pendidikan Asas dan Lanjutan selaku penceramah pada pagi ini. Dipersilakan Doktor.
Thank you. Terima kasih Dila. Sekejap ya. Mana tadi?
Aman.
Okey, terima kasih Dila. Senang je kan dia terus pas, lepas tu kena start. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad. Okey, terima kasih kerana semua yang melapangkan diri untuk sesi pagi ini. So Alhamdulillah pada hari ini, insyaAllah kita akan buat hands-on session hands-on session on collaborative and cooperative learning. Jadi saya harap semua akan memberi kerjasama secara sendirian dan secara dalam grup nanti kerana ada beberapa sesi dalam grup, dan kita akan menggunakan online collaborative and cooperative learning. Sedikit perbezaan yang saya lakukanlah sebelum ini. Kalau sharing session saya untuk collaborative dan cooperative learning ini selalunya adalah untuk face to face offline session classes, but today I have to make a few changes lah for online classes. Okay, so these are the four things that I always do in my classroom, and I think two of these, dua ini adalah yang memang saya ajarlah bersama PBR, sekiranya dijemput di PBR, itu collaborative dan cooperative learning dan juga experiential learning. Yang dua ini diajar oleh beberapa penceramah yang lain. Fungsi projek-projek ini adalah ataupun cara-cara pengajaran ini adalah untuk memastikan pelajar-pelajar kita mendapat sesuatu yang real experience, authentic experience, kerana inilah yang akan membuat mereka faham dan lebih mudah belajar. Pada saya personally, apabila saya dah buat benda ni beberapa tahun ya, 5-6 tahun dalam kelas EOP saya sedar bahawasanya satu, pelajar akan lebih faham secara long term. Ia bukan dapat waktu tu, lepas tu kena belajar balik final exam, lepas tu macam lupa balik. But when they do things in meaningful way, they experience it their own, they will actually remember, understand, because they do it on their own for a longer time. Okay. These are the characteristics of authentic learning experience. Okay, authentic ialah benda-benda yang real, benda-benda yang memang terjadi di dalam kehidupan mereka sebagai seorang contohnya microbiologist semasa mereka bekerja nanti. Mungkin this is more on PEO, program educational outcome. PEO, apa yang kita janjikan dia selepas kita habis ajar dia satu program, dia nak akan jadi apa. So we have to cater to them the authentic learning experience so that they know they can relate theory and practical. Sekiranya kita sebagai pensyarah tidak menyediakan platform itu untuk mereka, kesianlah pelajar-pelajar kita, sebab kadang-kadang dia benda ni that's why it comes mismatch. It doesn't match with their knowledge and the real thing happening in the world. Fungsi kita lah sebagai pensyarah untuk memastikan apa sebenarnya yang diperlukan di luar sana. We have to know what's the real world issues for our students. We have to actually help them by knowing the problem, knowing the issues. We have to actually empower them with these skills, inquiry and thinking skills. We need to ask them to learn how to think, the way marine scientists think. We have to help them think quickly. If the lab is closed, what should we do? You know, we have to actually help them to build their thinking skills. When we do that, we want to build a community of learners. Kita tak mahu pelajar-pelajar kita hanya regurgitate ambil kunyah-kunyah muntah balik seperti dalam exam. Tak. Tapi kita nak mereka sekelompok itu ramai-ramai faham. Semua faham and we don't want anyone to be left behind. Memang akan ada antara pelajar kita yang memilih untuk tidak dapat bersama-sama. Contohnya they are too stressed. Jadi mereka biarlah apa-apa jadi pun. Tapi at least when we create a meaningful learning, we create cooperative and collaborative learning with a community of learners, we will ask them to actually pull each other together. That's why we try to help them, especially in the pandemic punya situation. Authentic learning experience usually are student-directed learning. When student-directed learning, it doesn't mean that we didn't do anything. The lecturers like us, we do the background work a lot. Kita buat framework tu awal-awal. Contohnya kalau kita bina rumah, kita buat tiang-tiang tu dulu. Yang batu-batu tu nanti student yang akan isi. But the basis of the framework are done by us. Therefore, for authentic learning experience, kadang-kadang seronok kalau kita ada 2-3 orang yang mengajar satu kursus. So kita can plan together and work together and be devil's advocate. Maksudnya devil's advocate maksudnya kita ada idea, orang tu kata Azza, apa benda idea kau ni Azza? Patutnya macam ni. We help each other in making the ideas a better solution, a better learning experience for the students. Authentic learning experience is must be a real life relevance. Saya rasa ramai dah bila saya tengok bila kami buat audit dalaman, bila kita tanya pensyarah, ramai dah yang membuat assignment menggunakan benda-benda problem-problem yang berada di masalah teruknya bilik bakar ini, masalah yang memang berlaku di luar sana. So it is very good when our lecturers are moving towards that, sebab benda ini yang lebih membantu pelajar untuk faham apa yang berlaku ya. Sustained investigations means that benda yang project atau problem PBL, project problem based learning ataupun project based learning ataupun experiential based learning ini will continue on maybe for 2, 3, 4 weeks or maybe for 6 weeks or maybe for 14 weeks, the whole semester. They have to sustain the investigation on certain phenomena in order to understand and give critical options or suggestions to overcome issues, world issues. So this is sustained investigation. Bila dia longitudinal, lama sikit, dia akan memberi lebih kefahaman dan keyakinan kerana mereka betul-betul faham tentang isu. Triangulation of sources. This means that it doesn't only come from satu source. Contohnya masalah itu adalah masalah pembelajaran anak-anak prasekolah. Ini contoh yang baru-baru kami buat baru ni. Bersama pelajar-pelajar EOP bukan prasekolah dengan budak-budak tahun 5 dan tahun 4 dan tahun 5. We want to do a community based learning online. So I want them to actually find what's the issue first. So I give them a few population to study, and they have to actually investigate what is the real issue of learning online with young kids. But I don't want for them to listen only from the teachers. But I want them to listen from the parents, from the kids as well. So there are 3 sources here. So we triangulate the sources. It doesn't have to be 3, but triangulate kan, it can be 2 or 4 sources. Okay, bukan daripada 1. When we do this, we teach our students to think, to listen to a lot of information and to digest. Kita tak nak pelajar kita hanya ambil information daripada Instagram dan Facebook news and terus percaya. Case contoh contoh real, contoh Abid Liu. Mereka hanya melihat daripada point of view of Abid Liu sahaja. Mereka tidak melihat daripada point of view orang lain dan terus menyatakan Abid Liu adalah salah atau Abid Liu adalah betul. So when we teach them these skills in our own classroom, we apply the notion that they need to actually listen not just to one source, a few sources, and they cannot just read from social media. Okay, because that's what from our findings before this, sayangnya pelajar-pelajar kita hanya belajar, hanya mendapat berita dan membaca berita melalui social media, Twitter dan sebagainya, dan mereka kadang-kadang tidak pergi balik kepada source yang sebenar. We need to teach them that's wrong. They need to go to the real source and read a few sources to understand that this is happening, and then critically say what's their judgment on things. Kita kadang tak boleh ambil one side punya berita. So, and then integrated assessment. For authentic learning experience, for example, problem solving, problem-based learning, project-based learning, collaborative learning, we have a lot of assessments. We don't just use one type of assessment. So when the assessments are integrated, usually we have a better worldview of our students' performance. Okay. So inshallah for today, we are going to do collaborative and cooperative learning. Dila, sebelum tu, do we have international lecturers? Dila, I forgot to ask. If not, I have to use English.
Ada, Doktor.
Oh, ada. Okay. So
I'll use... ada.
Ada, yeah? Okay, thank you, Dila. Okay, I'm going to use full English here. Sorry, I forgot to ask earlier. Okay, so for today, for collaborative and cooperative learning, what we are going to achieve, inshallah, at the end of 1.5 hours or 2 hours, is firstly, we are going to differentiate between collaborative and cooperative learning. What's the differences or what's the similarities? And then we are going to actually co-create an activity rather than a lesson, co-create an activity on collaborative or cooperative learning, either or, okay, later on. Okay, all right, let's go here first. Hold on, jawapan. I'll give you a link, yeah, and I will share it. Salah ni, Tiny ni, sekejap ya. Where was it again? So what you are going to do, you are going to actually, it's not copying. You are going to actually share with me a photo of you traveling. Kenapa dia tak nak copy ni? You are not being helpful. Okay. All right. Please click on the link, and I'm inviting all of you to go to our Trello board. Okay, Trello. So once you are in, please join me. There. Boleh masuk tak Trello board tu? Ada yang dah masuk belum?
We have to sign up, ke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, just use your Google account, please, yeah? Share. Those who have issues, just you can switch on your mic and tell me that they have issues, okay? I think I've got a few in already. Those who are in, can you please go to this first card? Where did I go and why should I go there? This one, okay? Just click on the photo. And then there is actually an instruction here that you need to follow. So you need to add a card. Write the name of the place as title. Add picture. Okay. These are the things that you need to do. Right? Siapa yang tik ni antik balik. Okay, again Again, what I want you to do is you just go to this. The small pen, nampak tak pen kecil ni? Pen kecil ni, tekan pen kecil ni, semua orang boleh buat benda sama dia. Tekan pen kecil ni and then choose copy. Okay, and then you create card. Alright. Then that card is yours. I want you to change the name of the card to a place that you have gone before. Mama yang buat ni Sekejap Open card. Now, I want you, after you copy the card, write the name of the place as title. For example, the title of this place is a place that the last trip you went before COVID hit. For example, you went to, I don't know, where did I go? I went to Phuket with the kids. Okay. 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 So you've done the second one. And then I want you to change the cover. This cover should be a cover that you are in Phuket, Thailand, or wherever in the world you were. Upload that cover here so that I have the evidence of you went to that place before COVID hits. It doesn't matter. It can be Malaysia or it can be anywhere in the world. All right. Okay. And then in activity, you choose 3 reasons you should or should not go to Phuket or anywhere in the world. Okay. And then what did you learn from the visit? All of this, you just do it on your own card, not on others' card. Okay? All right. Okay, semua orang kena buat
Azza, good morning. How do we know whether or not we are doing it on our card or other people's card?
Okay, first, you just make sure, okay, this one yang ada remind yourself of the last trip ni, I'm sure there's none. It's not yours. I'm sorry, it's not others, it'll be yours. So just choose one of those. Card and open card and do it. Okay? Try it first. Okay, enjoy yourself pressing all the buttons.
Azza,
Yeah.
I just got in, so I quite left behind.
Okay,
Can
okay.
you start, explain it again?
Okay, good. All right.
Yes, I just registered.
You have registered? Dah masuk dah Trello?
Yeah, dah.
All right. So the first thing you go ialah you go to one of the pictures. Click. Sorry, You go to the three dots. Click the 3 dots, and you copy. Salah ajaran lah.
Semula.
Mula.
Okay. Nampak gambar.
Okay.
Where did I go? What should you go there?
So this one, the first one, yang the first gambar ni, so that's the template lah kiranya.
Okay.
You go to the gambar, you go to the picture, you double click.
Yang gambar globe tu.
Okay.
Double click. Okay.
So keluar tak benda ni? Open card, edit tables, ada tak?
Open card.
Okay, again You klik dekat gambar.
Sekejap. I klik dekat gambar ni.
Dr. Azza, if I click on the gambar, the template of remind yourself on the last trip.
Ya, keluar yang tu, remind
Not-
yourself on the last trip.
Dia
Not,
tak
not
ada yang tepi-tepi tadi This tepi-tepi.
nothing of that comes out. The,
Okay.
Yang
the
tepi
previous one, you show the description, task 1, activity. Bila kita klik at least saya lah, klik gambar tu.
sama.
Sekejap does it keluar gini? Sekejap open card. Ini perbezaannya apabila kita guna device. Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So what you can do is you can actually okay, sekejap ya. Ada tak ni? Copy ni. Actions, copy.
Copy,
Copy yang
okay.
mana ya? Which
Okay.
one to copy?
Copy.
I reach this stage. Which one to copy actually?
So tekan untuk copy saja ke?
Tekan copy.
Tekan je. Okay, I tekan. Dia keluar remind yourself.
Okay, now
the last trip.
you write your name or the place that the last trip that you went before COVID. Terus tulis sekarang.
Oh, under title tu.
Okay, say Rasha.
Okay.
Okay, and then now hopefully hopefully there's nobody who went to Russia or any place else, and then you create card. Create card.
Okay, lepas tu?
Okay, then card created kan? So keluar balik.
Create card.
Cari Russia. I'm sure there's a Russia somewhere here because you've done it. Ada sepatutnya dekat atas, just below that. Ni ada Russia. My Russia is here or wherever. I see Wonosobo, Jakarta. I see Australia, sama. Ada dah?
Azza, lepas tekan nama negara tu, lepas tu pergi mana?
Okay. Pergi board balik, pergi keluar balik. Board tekan je.
X kanan benda tu
Okay, cari you punya card tadi, ada tak? Russia ke? You tulis apa tadi?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Okay,
Ada.
Okay. Now click on that card again.
Okay, click. Okay, keluar. Then,
sekejap ya. To do this on my card. Okay, then I want you to do the list from 1 to 5. So you have added the card, so tick.
Oh, okay.
You have written the name as the place title, you tick.
Okay.
So sekarang ni, I want you to take a picture that you have taken from that place. So sekarang ni pergi kepada, where is it again? You go to cover.
Cover. Mana cover?
Cover pergi atas ada gambar. Atas tu ada tulis cover warna brown.
Okay. Tekan situ.
Tekan situ cover and then you upload a cover image of you and Switzerland.
Oh, maksudnya kita kena ambil dalam kita punya foto lah ya?
Cari. Okay?
Okay. Alah, dalam laptop tak ada.
Cari tempat you dah pergi dekat ni.
Semua dalam phone. Mana ada kat sini.
Hantar dekat WhatsApp buka sini, betul download.
Panjangnya cerita.
Tak apa lama cerita ni.
Or you can find anywhere in the world or you can find a picture dekat dalam
laptop apa-apa je lah Okay, thanks.
And then tick je lah. Tick je dekat sini.
Sampai
habis.
Tengok timeline.
Sorry, Dr. Azza. Lepas kita upload gambar, kita nak buat apa bahagian task ni?
Okay, and then why should or shouldn't you, why should or shouldn't others go to the place? So you give 3 reasons why people should go to that place. So what you do is add here, activity ni. Write a comment. So you write, people should go to, it's not happening.
How many for each? 3
3 pun boleh. Okay. And then in another activity, what did you learn? So after you've done, tick, 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 tick sampai habis, okay? Alright. Trabzon Turkey, cantiknya. Okay. It's nice. Okay, I'll just give everyone around 3-4 minutes to do this, okay? Explore. It's nice to explore. Semua orang kena buat ya. I've got a lot in my participants here, tapi ada 5-6 orang je yang tengah buat. So I want everyone to do it, okay? If you are stuck, I'll do it one step by step. Please tell me if you are not following. I'll help.
Azza, sorry. Macam mana nak add yang why should we go tak go tu? Kat mana Azza? You mute lah Azza.
Tadi I tanya anak-anak, apa yang bau hangus kat dapur? So I tak nak you all dengar, so I mute myself. So I berbau sesuatu yang hangus di dapur. Okay, sorry sekejap. So dekat activity ni, you type here.
Oh, tak kat situ je. Gambar tadi kita attach je kan?
Dekat atas je.
Dekat attachment tepi. Oh, mana? Gambar kat mana Azza?
Gambar dekat cover ni ada cover.
Oh, cover. I salah masuk pergi duduk dekat attachment tu. Okay, sorry.
Boleh, buka sekejap.
Kat cover Okay.
I need to. Sorry guys. Serius lah Nipo, cantik Nipo. Cantik ni ambil gambar. It's a nice picture. Okay, in your real classroom later on, if you are planning to do this, don't worry if the class is a bit too quiet. Don't worry if aku ni buat betul ke tak betul ni. Don't worry about that because why? One, it's good when just now Dr. Hayatul asked for clarification and Dr. Mel asked for more instructions. It means that students are engaged and others yang segan-segan nak tanya tu will follow. So it's good when we have two or three students who are braver to ask in the classroom sebab orang lain akan ikut. So and then the good thing about this online platform is that some of them are doing there and then. You boleh tengok ada yang laju. Contohnya Encik Syahril laju, tadi ada Dr. Azizul laju. So we know that there are people that you can ask for help, especially peer help later on. Sebab selalunya pelajar-pelajar yang laju ni they are willing to help. Because for them is just at the tip of their fingertips, senang je pada diorang. So you just need to be alert, hear what's going on, and you might want to know who needs help as well.
Azza,
So yeah.
but how do you manage like 60, 80 or sometimes even 100 over students and then you only have 2 or 3 sort of responding as sort of expected because you always expect them to be like the more engaging one in the class.
Yeah.
So does it somewhat, I don't know, does nak kata defeat the purpose? And how especially with this online thing, because it's so much more easier to see somebody and physically engage with them. But dalam beratus orang macam and the idea of our whole teaching system is that nobody gets left behind. So how do we sort of solve that matter? Thanks.
Okay. For this one, usually for me, I only do this just for ice breaking. Why? I really need to inject a feel good factor to my students sebab selalunya kalau benda ni, I tak adalah tanya where did you go, but I always ask them to share one photo that reminds you of happiness. So they usually do like 4 times quicker than us. Because they are students. But if I don't use Trello, for example, I only use WebEx or Google Meet, I usually use the breakout rooms, and I always make a point to go to every room. My breakout rooms, I don't have breakout rooms yang ada 10-15 orang because there'll be too many. But I always do the breakout rooms tu kan, Dr. Mel, macam contohnya I know that breakout room, that activity will take place around 15 minutes. So the students will actually have to talk and do activities with each other within that 15 minutes. And I have to actually tell myself within this 15 minutes, I have to go to every group and check whether they are okay or not okay. I will actually know, I will actually write names for the people who are not engaged. Usually tak ramai. Kalau breakout rooms memang semua terpaksa join sebab I give activities, instructions whereby everybody needs to have, they need to cooperate or collaborate in doing one. Yeah, so those are the techniques that I use because kalau I guna plenary classes macam ni kan, I won't know my students. Especially in languages. In languages, if I teach EOP, English for Occupational Purposes, one of the end product is that we want our students at least they can answer interview questions, not extremely good, but they can understand and they can give output. And this is individual work. I have to make sure everybody can speak. At least tell me something about yourself, which is the first question in any interviews. They must know how to do that. And I ask everyone to do that. Different ways lah. I kalau satu soalan tu, I guna different ways. Kadang-kadang I suruh dia hantar kat TikTok, I suruh dia hantar dekat Facebook, and I ask them to share the links. It's just that first, one thing you have to tell them why you do that. Kenapa you kena engage? Kenapa you kena buat task ni? So that comes in the real assessment, to the real issue, real problem. Okay, sebelum tu Dr. Mel, I have to applaud you for remember the assignment that you give to your students about the videos
Oh, thank you.
that they have to submit. I think those are very engaging and very meaningful experience for them. That's individual work kan, and it can be collaborative work juga. So it might be a lot more interesting if they collaborate and cooperate. Maybe. But if your purpose, if because you nak banyak specimen, so kita nak individual work lah is better.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Hence, things that you did, and I'm sure others pun buat juga kan, you actually give them specific teaching instructions. We give instructions for them to learn. When it's theirs, it's become learning instructions to them. And selalunya lah, these learning instructions, kalau sekali memang ada je flaw, memang ada je yang salah, ada orang tak faham. But if it comes to the second time or second semester, for us we are lucky because I ajar 3 group EOP. So kesian the first group lah jadi guinea pig. So macam instruction ni tak clear. So I change it to my second group. So within the one semester tu I dah buat CQI terus dah within the semester. So by the third group tu dah cantik dah. Tapi tak juga. Sebab kadang-kadang maybe all of us face the same thing. Yang budak-budak cohort ni bijak sikit. Dia a bit more alert, a bit more clever.
Yes, betul-betul. Correct. Ada tu.
A bit slow. Kenapa tak faham joke ni? Kenapa semua slow? You know, you get that. So we've got that as well. For the sciences tu kadang-kadang yang budak-budak bio laju dapat. Tapi bila dapat kat budak physics, macam kenapa diorang tak dapat because they think differently. They accept instructions differently. So you might need to actually do a bit of changes in things. Ini belum masuk counselling lagi. Kadang-kadang diorang tak faham instruction pun. So that's the differentiation. Differentiation is very, very educational punya term. A differentiation that you need to do, that you need to cater for our learners. So for me, to answer your question, first is the clear instructions. Clear instructions will make sure that you know that nobody will left behind. Sebab our instruction is very detailed. And we hope that a few who ask can help out. Number 1. 2 is the differences of tasks that you give. It plays a role as well. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Azza, for the explanation, and I really appreciate that you have taken notice of the work I did for my students.
Yeah. I'm actually the 3 LI student. One of them did a video as well. So. Which is good. Siti Haja, if I'm not mistaken, her name.
Yes, she's mine.
Yes, yeah. She's doing her LI with me now.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you have some really good students under you. Thank you. I think in that sense, for me in terms of my sharing, it was we are actually very used to the physical exhibition. This is currently my 3rd semester doing this particular subject, but the challenge that came about is how do we cater something with the whole COVID incident. So that's why sort of we tried to come up with the virtual aspect of it, which is actually quite new. And I'm also now, at least with Facebook, we had a bit of a learning experience because we also wanted to extrapolate data of the whole survey thing. We students actually had to do pre and post surveys. So Facebook and Google Sheets were actually quite helpful in that. So actually my purpose of coming here is to see if Trello sort of can somewhat be engaging in that aspect, and or what sort of limitations, the pros and cons to having to use this platform actually. Yeah.
Okay. So far for me, I think there are a few. If we go to we just Google collaborative or cooperative expositions. Usually they will actually give us a lot of suggestions. The only drawback is money. For example, for this one, this is the business trial, free trial. I don't know what's the difference between the free trial because I've used this for a few years now and there's never this icon before and I'm not going to add any payment because the free one works well for me before this anyway. So usually the payment thingy is a bit that's the catch there. Other than that, I think it is just the ease of use. The ease of use dengan the data lah. Kadang-kadang Trello ni is quite ringan. Meaning that guna handphone pun boleh, apps pun ada. So the students have a lot of freedom and they are not stuck. So kalau yang berat-berat tu kan, susah sikit. If it's a bit too hard for them to handle, there will be people left behind lah. That's the thing that we don't want. Okay, so coming back to our Trello, I want all of this to be in one column. So so that it's easier for me to check everyone here. So it's very easy for Trello is that you just copy a card and just drag. Okay. Nanti ni kita delete semua. Songklan ni I just copy and drag. I'm not sure ada orang ke tak ni, but I'm just copy and drag. But you can actually see yours there. Okay. I want to Wonosobo. Baik. So this one, I tak nak ni. Oh, ada satu lagi Sabah. Sorry. Sabah. Sol. So this one, I can just archive them. Okay, one. I think there'll be repetition here. So don't worry, for the first few rounds, if you want to actually ask your students to use this, let them experiment this. Jangan kasih the real work first because if not, it'll be very messy for them to do. So ask them to experience Trello first for collaborative or cooperative learning. Then you give them the real task. Okay? Share Australia, nanti I tunjuk dulu. Oh, I miss Kent. Kent is nice, isn't it? Oh, jauhnya Boston. Okay. So for this one, I think I cannot delete this sebab ada data kat situ. Okay. Shit. That's nice picture. Okay, letak ni kat sini, Cambridge.
If the student macam mana dia nak ensure dia dah complete the task. Sekarang ni macam contoh kalau I dah complete kan, tapi tak nampak I punya. So macam mana dia nak tahu dia punya ni being safe?
Tak nampak you punya kat sini Tak ada
Tak.
Switzerland, UK, Ipoh, South Africa, Johor, Seoul, Phuket, Cameron Highlands. Sepatutnya dia akan auto save. Cik pelan-pelan Ingat tak gambar you apa? Ingat kan?
Ingat.
Okay.
Gambar terlipuk lah tu.
Telipuk. Gambar telipuk ada air. Stay
Dia pun nak pergi tambah mandi tak?
Korea.
Dewan Azza. Dia
Ada?
jumpa dah. Ada yang Korea tu.
Oh, yang cantik ni gambar Google ke gambar betul?
Gambar Google.
Okay. Alright,
And
cool.
then Azza sebab macam tadi kalau tengok ada yang certain tu, yang a few tu dia macam 0/5 tu dia macam 0/5. So bila I tengok macam nak jadikan dia 5/5 tu bila I tick tu kan.
Yeah, so betul. Okay, so once macam contohnya ni Wonosobo Jakarta ni ialah siapa ya Wonosobo Jakarta?
Saya.
Siapakah saya? Muhammad
Rahimi.
Dr. Rahimi. So, Dr. Rahimi nampak sekarang ni bila dia dah tick semua boxes. So all of them, this is to-do list. Okay, so for us, kalau as a lecturer, as the instructor, facilitator in the class, kita, for example, for the week, kita nak buat ada 5 task ni, so kita tengoklah checklist ni. So semua budak semua dah buat belum? So kita kena instruct dia, once you are done, you tick that box so that I know that you've done your part. Okay?
Macam tadi, kalau ikut instruction kat atas tu dia ada 5 item. Tapi bila kat bawah tu dia ada salah satu yang we have to prepare the checklist kan?
Yeah.
Kat bawah tu. Dia. So dan kat atas tak ada, so I tambah je checklist. So I able, buat macam contoh kat bawah tu kita ada 6 instruction. Yang mana salah satu like at the checklist.
Yeah.
So bila I
kosong kan?
5 je. So I tambah salah satu.
So jadi
Boleh kan?
boleh? Boleh. Boleh.
Jadi
So
6. Lepas tu I tambah the checklist lagi 3. So dia jadi 9 I punya.
okay. So maksudnya I punya instruction tak betul lah tu.
Yes.
Cantik kan? So
Best.
so
Tu
okay.
best student, tu best student.
Of course. Especially duduk kat pejabat risiko lagi best student. Okay. So okay. This is I remember I wrote an article dekat NST. Whereby I think this is fun where we are not embarrassed to tell our students that we are not that cool using gadgets, but it's actually a reciprocal thingy. You teach me how to do it and I teach you some stuff too. And seriously, when I open up to the students saying that, kurang, I'm not that clever tau benda ni. I know this is very good. I know the basic of it, but you might teach me some stuff as well. Just like what Dr. Rosaiza has done just now to us. To me, not to us, to me. So when we open up and kita tak rasa offended, kata, tak, I punya betul lah. Tak rasa, we don't do that. Usually our learners will become, will be more engaged, especially after those sessions. Sebab apa? Sebab I think it's just they value they value the teachers who think we are human as well. You faham tak macam tu maksud I? So maksudnya kita manusia juga. So I don't know all these things, but I know you learn something out of this. So let's learn about it together. So frankly, don't feel scared of using these software or gadgets or stuff, but you have to read up. There's a lot of forums on stuff. Baca dulu all these things whether you think is good or not, and experiment it on one group. If it doesn't work, tak payah buat. So I said, okay, this experiment is over, we are going to do it the other way. Kita pergi Google Drive balik. Boleh je. But that again is a learning as well. A learning experience for your students and for you as well. Okay, going back. We are going to do a second task now. What I want you to do is the same thing, but I want you to all do on the same row, okay? On this row, I want you to do on cooperative learning now. Okay, this is the second task. Go to cooperative learning, click on it. Sabar anak-anakku. So what I want you to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, Google definition, add a card, share your findings here. First, you Google definition, and then I want you to add a card here. Add a card, I want you to write your name. Okay. And then you open card. First, I want you to actually find the definition of cooperative learning. The second one is a rubric for cooperative learning, and you add here. Add as attachment. Attachment or picture, whatever.
Sorry, Dr. Azza, please ulang lagi sekali because I'm flipping from one screen to another screen.
Okay. So one is you go okay, sus mudah ada nama, okay? So first is you Google the definition of cooperative learning. It can be in attachment or in a picture, and then you attach. Open card. You can attach here, or you can just copy paste the definition in the activity. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to do is you have to find a rubric, online rubric for cooperative learning. 2 tasks, okay? 1 definition, 1 rubric. You can type within the activity or you can add as attachment. Right, try to do it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doktor,
Yeah.
Dr. Sharon ada tanya, apa fungsi colour label?
Cantik. One is cantik, Sharon, and the other thing is for me, if I mark them, I give them instructions. Kadang-kadang, okay, this color label, if it's red, I've checked it, and there are things that you need to do. Ataupun green, all good. Tak ada benda nak, there's nothing corrections to be done. So I guna red and green lah, or whatever color lah. So we have this color label, but kadang-kadang budak-budak suka cantik je. Okay. The definition is yours.
Azza, sorry, but I banyak tanya sikit sebab I memang tak pandai betul benda ni. I tercopy you punya ke?
Tak apa. I nampak dah ni. Boleh je, tak apa.
Sebab habis semua komen saya termasuk kan? So macam mana nak buat kalau macam tu?
Okay, tak apa. Kalau macam ni nanti buat balik. So you go ni ada nampak tak? Add card ni.
Okay.
Okay, add card.
Hmm.
Title is your name. Tu je. Okay.
Sorry.
Tak apa, it's okay. So the good thing about Trello is sometimes you ada power untuk delete nanti. So don't worry. So don't worry about it. Okay. So usually we have the Speedy Gonzalez in the classroom. For example, the Speedy Gonzalez in this classroom is Dr. Nadia. Okay? Dr. Nadia dah pergi buat collaborative pun. So, janganlah delete. Tak apa. So you've done that, tak apa. You just buat. So what Trello can do is it gives the differentiation to the people who have finished one but they want to continue on to the next challenge, they can do that. Okay, if they can understand the instructions, boleh je buat. Okay, so if you are done with cooperative, you can go on to the collaborative learning. Kena dia paste balik tadi Nadia, janganlah malu-malu. Okay, paste it there because your answer was right just now.
Dr. Azza,
Ya, Dr. Nizam.
kalau dia punya dokumen tu dalam Pinterest tu macam mana nak save?
Kalau dalam Pinterest, okay, kalau double click boleh tak save as picture?
Oh, okay. Saya cuba
Lepas tu nanti drop je, drop dekat your name.
Azza,
Ya,
kalau kita share link pun boleh kan kita attach
boleh?
untuk rubrik?
Boleh.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, macam ni ya, Dr. Nizam. So if this is a photo, a JPEG or a PNG, you just double click, save image. Image lah boleh. So as save. Okay, I'll go back to Trello. And then ada nama Azza tadi. Azza, nama Azza mana? Okay. I'll just take this and I paste it on mine. Okay, nanti dia akan keluar kat situ. Macam tu je. Okay, those who are done with cooperative learning, Dr. Harimi, Dr. Siti, Dr. Azizul, those who are done boleh move to the collaborative learning ya, macam Dr. Mel dengan Dr. Syahril. Berarti ada sekejap. Jangan berhenti.
Sorry Zah, kenapa I punya tak keluar macam orang nanti tu? Bila dia rubrik tu kan dia keluar. I punya tak keluar.
Kerana anda adalah istimewa. Jadi di mana ke anda ya? Sharon, Wan Zaleha. Sebab you buat as attachment, tak apa.
Oh tak
Sebab
apa.
kita ada kat sini ya.
Kalau nak keluar jadi macam orang lain tu letak sebagai apa?
Okay, sebab yours is PDF. PDF dia akan automatically attach. Tapi yang lain ni adalah rasa ni PNG ataupun JPEG dia punya gambar ni. Dia punya ni.
Okay.
Kalau you nak boleh je you JPEG kalau you punya PDF tu. You buat print screen. Banyak kerja sikit tapi tak apa. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. If you kalau perasan kan tadi we took like 7 minutes to do the first column only. The first column we took 7 minutes, but for this, because you know the functions already within the 7 minutes, you've explored a bit kan. For these two, you did it not more than 5 minutes. That's when you have actually know the mechanism, you are engaged the first 7 minutes. Then when you give extra instructions, it's easier for the students to do more things quickly. Okay, and sometimes when you give them a bit more time, one is you can actually comment in the sense that okay, Dr. Wazaliha, this is very good, but I want the for example the source, cari source mana you jumpa ni, sebab kita as student, you nak buat FYP, you kena cari source, you tak boleh copy paste, so cari source, so you actually give them more things to do at one time. So when you give the instruction, hopefully yang lain dengar, or you can just go through quickly others. Okay. Before this, I've used Padlet as well. Cuma tapi kadang-kadang Padlet tu kadang kenapa tau? Dia kadang jadi pening. Sebab kadang-kadang dia masuk tu kan. Lepas tu macam, aku kat mana tadi ya? You know, it can be a bit more kataan negeri Terengganu lah. Bolok ni sikit bolok. Dia campur-campur.
Serabut.
Yeah, serabut for me sorry, but this one I think it's easier for me, is the eye lah, especially kita eye dah tua kan, kadang mana tengok pening betul macam malas lah nak cari kan. So this is quite cool. Okay. This caters the people who are learning strategies yang suka on the visuals bagus sebab dia boleh nampak. They can actually just see the visuals. They know what is it. But for those who actually read things, critical thingy, they can actually macam Dr. Rosaiza ni, dia boleh guna the PDF version lah. They want to read and be more critical in it. So for me, Trello helped as well in the different learning styles. Okay. I'll give just about 1 more minute, okay, for this before I go back to my slide. Kenapa I stop sharing? Salah kan? Salah. Okay. While others might be typing their cooperative or collaborative meaning and rubric, for me sometimes in my language classroom, I always like to know my students better because then I will actually know their weaknesses at the beginning. This helps a lot for me. Trello, as well as Facebook. I also use Facebook private groups to actually help their communication, oral communication skills, because it can, in the end, it will actually help to build an e-portfolio of the students. They can see their progression of work from week 1 till week 14, whether they have progressed, they have improved or not. And we allow them to comment and stuff within that. So again, as I said just now, it's nice for us to start a class with a feel-good factor with the students. And kalau ada gambar macam tadi kan, usually kalau ada gambar betul, seronok sikit lah. And then kita boleh tanya, okay, tell me something a bit about this picture. You know, things like that. It'll be very nice. Okay. So cooperative and collaborative learning. So the similarity and the differences. Okay. So the definition is the cooperative learning, as many of you has actually cut and paste just now as I saw, teaching and learning activities done in small groups. Sama juga dengan cooperative learning, done in small groups, mixed ability students, and using a variety of activities to improve understanding of a topic. Okay. Cooperative learning, each member is responsible of a portion of work, but it can be done individually. Okay, and usually the instructors already know the problems and the solutions the learners are working on. So kita dah tahu dah sebenarnya. We know what's actually the issue. We know the answers already. Dah ada rubrik, dah ada skema jawapan dah sebenarnya. So that's usually cooperative learning. On the other hand, collaborative learning, for the work, participants do work in a group, but they don't work individually each portion. They work together to solve a problem. So they have to collaborate and they have to actually discuss together each problem. So maksudnya bukan chapter, bukan slide satu, the first slide student lain buat, second slide student lain buat, that's cooperative. But collaborative, everybody needs to actually contribute to something so that everybody understands everything. Okay, and the last bullet is instructors do not have a preset solutions on the issues. We might have suggestions, but we don't actually have a direct solution on what they are working on. Okay, this is by John Spencer. So I just look at the last 3 bullets. Last 3 bullets. For collaborative learning, this is usually more long-term assignment, meaning that it's not done in a week or 2. It might be a bit more than that. Maybe 3 weeks, they have to work together in that group, long term. And The group has to generate new ideas as a group. They don't just share ideas one by one, but they actually come up with a new solution of something. And in the end, they'll be more empowered as learners, engaged and empowered, not just engaged. For cooperative learning, they'll be more engaged because they have to do things together to achieve to one goal or objective. Okay, for this one, for the Trello board, the first Trello board that we done just now, was it collaborative or cooperative learning? I should share screen kan, bukan share slide je. Share lagi sekali. Share screen. Okay. For this one, I've changed it to worldview photo book. For example, lepas ni kan, kalau the photos are really yours, it's easy. But if it's copy paste from from internet, susah lah. So, but if I want to do this as an assignment, whereby I take the photos as a photo book later on. Now, what do you think this assignment was? Was it a cooperative or collaborative learning? Jangan jawab dulu. Dila, boleh tak tolong buat ni Dila? Ke Dila ada tak?
Ada doktor?
Okay Dila, Dila boleh buat poll tak Dila?
Poll.
Poll, collaborative.
Tak pernah buat doktor.
Tak apa, Dila pun kena belajar.
Macam ni doktor.
Okay, pergi kat Webex. Sekejap ya.
Okay.
Dekat atas ni ada poll mana dia? Mana poll you all? Ibu tak jumpa kan? Poll. It was there just now. Tak jumpa lah. Ni, open poll question ni. File, open poll questions. Ya, sebanyak apa boleh buat tapi sendiri lah buat.
Kat saya tak ada doktor. Dia jadi macam warna kelabu tu. Dia tak nak tekan.
Tak boleh buka Okay, tak apa. Okay, tak apa. So sekarang ni okay, I pun tak boleh buat ni sebab dia tiba-tiba dia ada ni. It's okay. So, type your responses. Is this worldview photo book? Is this a collaborative or cooperative learning? Type in chat, okay? So kalau you are actually hosting, I boleh buat ni, tak boleh pula. It's alright. Type in chat whether is it cooperative or collaborative learning. Okay, I've got from a few, Dr. Rahijan, Dr. Rahimi, Unju, hi Unju, Siti Kamila, Dr. Zam, Hatzam, Yuari Paradia. Were they private eye? Okay, cool. Alright, I think majority of you got it right. It is actually cooperative learning. Okay, cooperative bukan collaborative dan bukan both. For this one is that it's your personal assignment. Yeah. Back. It's actually each member is responsible for a portion of work. It's actually your work, your portion of work, and you have to work individually. I did not ask you to actually do it in a group. You don't have to actually discuss things with anyone. Instructions were given by me because it was a learning process, but it's only you who are doing the work. However, the end project, I can actually amalgamate everything. I can combine everyone's work and I actually can produce something. For example, a photo book or a if you are good enough, a chapter in book, a good book, a solid book, because everyone contributed to something. So it's actually a cooperative learning, not collaborative learning. Okay, because it's individual work, but combined together to become a huge assignment. All right, so good. It's actually cooperative learning. Okay, look at this one. This was a photo back then when we went to, tak ingat dah kat mana ni. We went somewhere and we have to discuss about these sessions, the fast sessions. So we need to actually produce a training module for academic staff. What is this? Is this a collaborative or cooperative learning? The task force were divided into smaller groups to complete each topic, which will then combine as a holistic OBE training module. So for this one, for task 1, is it collaborative or cooperative learning? So we sat down, we create a set of modules comprised of several topics within OBE. For example, Dr. Yang will do one topic, Dr. Nazli will do one topic, Dr. Hayati will do one topic, Prof. Amiza will do one topic, Prof. Nora do one topic, Dr. Asma will do one topic. This one is, siapa ni itu? Amira. Amira tolong type. So each of us do a topic, and then after that we combine everything to become PBR. Sekarang PBR, Pusat Bakat Universiti Akademik. That's the end product. So is it collab or co-op? Okay. For this one, the answer is again cooperative. Okay, cooperative. Why? Because each of the members are going to complete one topic. For example, I need to actually cover engaging learning. They have to cover CQI. And then in the end, we combine everything into a holistic topic. Hence, for this one, it's again cooperative learning. We are actually doing it in a group, a big group. However, each of us, we understand the mission, the vision, and what's the end product, which is the OBE training module. But then we need to do the work on our own to complete our own set of module. Okay, then it's cooperative. However, if at this time I were to actually team up, team up with Dr. Nazli and Dr. Yati. The three of us, we have to sit down together and complete this training module, collaborative cooperative learning, the learning engagement. The three of us work together and create the modules together, then that's collaborative, correct? And then when we combine with everyone for holistic OBE training, that's cooperative. So it can be both as well. Okay, tapi dalam hal ni kalau I buat seorang-seorang, if I do it individually it'll be cooperative. Right. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. Let's go to Trello once again. And I want you to do the next column, the next board, which is this one. Write an article together. Okay. You kena ingat dekat dalam group ni kan ada banyak a lot of fields, a lot of specializations. Okay. Try to combine a few specializations and brainstorm. Just write on this card, just add a card and write your name on the card. And then I want you to actually write what are the things that we can write together. Okay, what are the an article can be a journal article, or it can be journal article that you can write together. Think of things. Okay, I want you to actually think outside of the box. Don't think about the people in your field only. Try to cross discipline now. What can you do? Okay. So just write one there. Okay. So your task is, I want you to write, add a card, and I want you to actually think of a topic or things that you think that a few of us, a few specializations can combine and actually can write an article out of it. It can be within your faculty, it can be cross-faculty, it can be cross-university, it can be it can be international, it can be national. Just think outside of the box now. And you might want to actually Google some PDF articles of cross-discipline papers. Dr. Nizam, this shouldn't be hard for you because PG has a lot of things. As an ex-PGian pun boleh kan? Bukan PGian. You might have lots of ideas here. If you have lots of ideas, write on different activities in the card so that then I know you have a lot of activities from here. I boleh tahu berapa banyak idea you letak kat sini. So if I write another one, say,
Doktor nak tulis idea tu kat mana?
dekat aktiviti ni.
Dekat aktiviti, okay.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Noni, yang you say tourism sustainability ni kan? Boleh tak, can you try to elongate your idea? Maksudnya where ataupun with which fields ke? Boleh tak?
Okay, I try.
Self-employed individuals. Menariknya. Travel and tourism. Macam nak travel, pandemik ni sedih kan, travel online je. By the way, ni iklan iklan. My daughter now is actually attending an e-jamboree for the Girl Guide. There are, I think, around 3,000 participants. Ramai kan? 3,000 participants, and it is held in Korea. What they do, okay, this is actually a 27-day long jamboree whereby they actually take 3 hours every day, Malaysian time, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. So they have activities during these 3 hours. And for me, I think it's an eye-opener for me on how they actually look at their economy, at their education, at the tourism part within the worldview of teenagers. Because all of these students are from, I think they are from 12 years old to around 17 and 18 years old. Most of the guides are 14, 15-year-old kids. whereby they actually share their experiences at home. They speak in Korean. They speak in just like Korean lah, cakap bahasa Korea. And then they actually prepare the subtitles. They don't actually mute the Korean language tu They just prepare subtitles. They can choose whether they want to what subtitles they want. English ke, BM ke, no BM sorry, in English or in French. I think the other one is Arabic. I think there are 3. So, 3 things I pergi tengok-tengok tiap hari lah, I tinjau-tinjau kan. The first day K-pop kau. One K-pop, I don't know this group, but my kids do. NCT. This group actually performed on a stage in Korea, and then they were to ask to actually talk about certain dance moves that they use and how it can relate to health. Macam susahnya soalan kau ni. But you know what? Within this group semua orang boleh jawab. You know, by googling, laju je the response, and they actually have to produce it via TikTok and via IG Reels. That's one of the output of the assignments. The second day, they actually had to manage the big data of BTS. They really make use of all these K-pop thingy, and these are the attractions for the kids, you know. They actually need to look at the big data of BTS. Memanglah BTS is huge already, so the data is huge. So they actually look at how they help with the economy, that's one group, how they help with the tourism, how they help Louis Vuitton. You know, those are the things that these kids do with big data. The third day, the third thing that I found interesting is that they are given into small groups. So my daughter has a group with a girl in Busan. So she actually showed her house in Busan around with the mom, with the dad, and I think it's not acting. Memang mak tengah masak, you know, things. So this is what I do. This is my kitchen. This is how we have dinner. This is our dinner. As a girl guide, I have to arrange things. And you know what? I think for me it's really an eye opener sebab budak pun boleh buat gitu. You know, that age kan, the kids can actually cooperative learning. They learn about tourism, they learn about economy at the same time, they learn about how to save money. Okay, save money tu lah, I baca Dr. Rosaizam tadi. They say, okay, my plan is to go to Malaysia after COVID. After COVID, I think around 5 years, I think COVID will be over, or all of us are vaccinated. 5 years plan, okay? So I said, if I want to go to Malaysia, this is how much the ticket price is. And I can stay at a few girls' houses. So I'll stay in Alwani's house for 2 days so I can save money. This is the amount that I have to save to go to Malaysia in 5 years' time. I have to save how much every month. Those are the things that they teach this during the e-jamboree, which I think it's very, very gila menarik. You know, you are so clever lah, these Korean people. They're just clever lah in this stuff, whereby they actually use or manipulate knowledge, okay? Knowledge in a real and meaningful setting for the kids. Guess where most of the international students wants to go? Of course, Korea. Why? Because they have connections already. They say, if you come over to Korea, Busan, you come to my house. If you go to Incheon, you come just land, and then you can visit my place and drink coffee at my uncle's shop. You know, hebatnya korang ni. Malaysians pun, I think if we can actually do together, sit down, and UMT pun kita ada ramai. Bila I baca ni kan, tengok, biasalah kan, sel-sel berhubung, semua light bulb tengah on kan. It'll be very interesting to see what we can do to actually help our economy again after this lah. Sebab diorang pun tengok after 5 years punya ni time frame. Itulah iklan I panjang kan, sorry. Okay, saya baca Dr. Wan Zaliha punya. Apa dia tulis? Foodscape. Fuh. Dr. Wazileha, foodscape ni maksudnya tanam sendiri food landscape Ke macam ni sebab food security meaning that you plant your own food? Ke tak? Ke I salah faham?
Ternak ikan, lepas tu ada tanam tanaman, gitulah Dr. Azza. Kompak.
Maksudnya all at one thing, so ada satu atas tu tanam, lepas tu bawah tu.
Gitulah.
So benda ni menarik kan, kalau ada duit setiap rumah ada satu kan, lepas tu air lebih tu boleh mandi untuk kita orang kat Kuala Nerus ni. Tiba-tiba. Betul lah, you all jauh-jauh tak ada air, kita tak ada air sini. Okay, I'm reading Dr. Rahimi's Restructuring the Destination Marketing Purpose. I suka bunyi the destination marketing. Baca pun I rasa goosebump, okay? Tourist willingness to pay for virtual tours. Dr. Rahimi, sekarang ni kan, kalau you rasa, are they willing to pay? Non-Malaysians non-Malaysians. Are you looking at Malaysians or non-Malaysians?
Both, actually.
Okay, both. For Malaysians?
Currently, we according to current student we have several attraction in Malaysia already started their own virtual tour. Okay, for example, like zoo typing, and then even certain culture attraction in Melaka, and also Zoo Negara is coming up with their own virtual tour. So all these are the part of business model, how to sustain their business and also still attracting the market lah for their attraction.
Okay, and I don't know. I just want to ask. Do you know, macam contohnya, we went to the buaya show, the crocodile show, baru-baru ni. It will be very interesting to know dorang punya income banyak tak? Sebab hari tu the one that I went ramai tau, ramai.
Yep.
And we only RM3 kot, kan? Tak mahal kot.
Because current harga yang ditawarkan itu sebenarnya lebih rendah daripada actual experience. Cuma what they do is kalau kita nak kata successful, it's just for currently they do it because of for sake of to sustain the business only.
Okay.
So and currently they also open for the local kebanyakannya because of the language barrier. And I believe one of the zoo typing is coming up akan menggunakan multiple language punya guide, dan juga dia akan embed some of orang kata technologies AI something like that, because bila local guide bercakap, and then the apps ataupun the software tu akan automated translated dalam preferred language yang diperlukan oleh customer lah.
I think this is the one that the Korean is using. They actually as well. Klik button tu kan and boleh dengar.
Yes, itu yang berlaku lah. It's just the destination kena invest sikit to develop that kind of software.
Okay, last question. If it's in Terengganu culture, where do you actually want to propose to do it? Satu je.
I prefer to go for yang dia berada di Kampung Mangkuk atau yang bilang tu Alex, Terapuri.
Okay, Terapuri, alright.
Yeah, we go for Terapuri because it's established and also attractive lah for customer to see.
But the infrastructure and the architecture.
Yes, and then they can cater also not only for market for tourism, but also for those who would like to study about the Malay culture, architecture, and also for the students overseas for architecture student. This one is actually getting high demand among them to study the cross culture punya architecture.
Menariknya. Tengok, banyak kan sel-sel berhubung seronok kan. So people who can, I'm actually inviting people to actually connect to Dr. Rahimi. Okay, kalau you all ada benda, so these are the interesting things that maybe boleh tak kita join in. So this is the collaborative thing that you can do. Okay, I just want to say a few more. Okay, tadi dah ada tourism, I dah tengok tadi from FPSM, I tengok from FTTKI. Synthesis and characterization of advanced material. OJ, tolong OJ. Dr. Unju. So advanced materials ni ada certain materials ke are you looking at?
Oil solvent.
Okay. Why do you choose it?
Why I choose it? For environmental sustainability.
Okay, Chun. Okay, nasib baik cakap benda tu. Saya bolehlah cakap, kau tak cakap benda lain, I tak tahu. Okay, so kalau when you say environmental sustainability, automatically ada a few boleh tolong join in. Even the social scientists can help out because they can actually help with the survey. Meaning that the oil solvent, berapa banyak yang ada kat community ni? Berapa banyak yang boleh contribute? Or how much they can contribute to it? So it can be across discipline whereby it can be science and social sciences as well. Okay, cool. Thank you, OJ. Lama tak jumpa OJ kan?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, last one, Dr. Madia. Students' perspective of classroom and distance learning during COVID-19 pandemic in UMT. Okay, Chun. Dr. Madia, no mic. Terus cakap no mic. Okay, tak apa. So for me, tak apalah kalau tak ada mic, I cakap seorang. For me, for this one, memang ramai boleh bantu. Why? Because when I look at the pattern of high-ranked journals, high indexed and high ranked, they usually want a point of view of various faculties, sciences, non-sciences, and from there they can see the world view of people of distance learning. The perspective of students during pandemic semesters. Why I do this actually is that it'll be very interesting. This activity is very interesting for all of you kan. Kalau you all tengok, you can start working together. Okay, kenapa I cakap benda ni? Dr. Rosaiza maybe will agree with me. Sebab networking within the university, especially outside of the university, helps a lot in our career, and it helps a lot with Myra. I'm sorry lah to say that word kan. Ramai tak suka perkataan tu, especially TDB. We don't like Myra, but we have to do it. But you know what? Once you have good network, you have networking with each other first, sebab each of us will have good networking other networks. Maksudnya Dr. Rahimi, I'm sure Dr. Rahimi ada network orang lain di luar universiti, luar negara juga. If you network with, say Dr. Faradia, so she has other networks as well. If you combine together and you actually combine the networks that you have, it will be a bigger network rather than we stick out in our own network. Those are the things that I usually ask the young Pepal punya lecturers to start doing that, because we have our own clique kan, clique dekat luar universiti ni, but we need to introduce our friends to that clique as well to make it bigger. So for me, this is one of the steps on how we do that. This is just a spark of idea for how you can help others in the same faculty, in the same field. For example, geng-geng accounting, macam mana you nak buat daripada yang kecil ni combine dengan yang lain, lepas tu lagi besar. It is a very interesting way for us to enhance our knowledge and our specialty as well. I applaud everyone for thinking of the ideas in like 7 minutes just now. Baguslah you all. I enjoy it. Okay. Dila, tolong Dila, can we actually Dila tolong buat group. Jangan buat execute dulu Tolong buat small groups, 4 in a group. Kalau boleh buatlah matematik sendiri Okay. In that group later on, Dila will actually assign you to an anonymous group mana-mana. In that group, what I want you to do is I want you to choose one idea that has been discussed here in the brainstorm. Choose one idea. One of you might actually bring it here. So this is the idea that you choose. For example, you just drag and drop, and then define what each of you needs to do. Ni bukan betul-betul lah. Maksudnya kodon-kodon you nak buat artikel, define siapa kena buat abstract, siapa kena buat buat introduction, siapa kena buat research methodology, siapa kena buat discussion and findings, and siapa kena buat conclusion. So discuss that framework, and in the description, for example I'll take Dr. Nizam's in the description here, discuss how fields in UMT can contribute to that tajuk. It might not, mungkin it cannot be your field, tapi mungkin tajuk orang lain pun tak apa. How your field can actually how that field can contribute to the tajuk, to the paper, and then in activity write who will do what. Okay, alright. Alah, Dila dah ni belum? Dah ada group belum?
Okey, sekejap doktor tengah set jap.
Okay.
Okay.
So, sorry, excuse me. So in the breakout room later on, sorry, excuse me. You need to choose. You need to choose one daughter who's hiding behind the chair. You need to choose one topic, because I think all of you have given one or more topics in here. Choose one topic and then put it here, and then divide the job, divide the tasks of the article, who does what, who does what. Okay, one person will do one part. Right? Okay, Dila, when you're ready, you can actually press the breakout room.
Okey doktor cuma ada 2 group, akan ada 5 orang doktor.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okey, saya start sekarang.
Alright.
Okay.
Dila, macam mana saya nak pergi from room to room
Doktor pergi dekat yang participant tu, yang tu sebelah tu ada main meeting, sebelah dia ada breakout session.
Saya tak ada ni.
Tak ada. Dekat participant.
Cuba tengok saya punya, sekejap tengok saya screen saya. Itulah tadi saya rasa, macam mana nak buat, selalunya boleh tapi saya tak ada that thing.
Okay.
Saya tunjuk share screen. Sekejap. Sini lah. Awak tak keluar ni. Tutup. Webex. Kenapa tak boleh ni? Saya nak share screen Webex saya. Saya tak boleh share screen Webex saya.
Sebab yang ni screen ke ni? Okey, terus.
Tapi saya tak boleh share Webex saya. Kelakar kan? Tak apalah. Saya nak share Webex saya supaya okey ni tengok. Saya buat participant, tak ada. Nampak tak?
Mana doktor?
Yang ni saya dah klik participant atas ni kan?
Saya tak nampak doktor punya tu.
Ni, nampak tak? Saya tekan ni. Tak nampak?
Saya tak nampak screen doktor.
Sudah. Okey, kalau saya tekan mana ni? Assign participant.
Doktor stop dulu yang ni boleh? Yang apa nama ni apa? PDF ke PowerPoint ni?
Ini PowerPoint je
Lepas tu doktor share screen balik.
Nampak segala-galanya berada di ni Malu Okey.
Ya, doktor share screen balik. Alamak, Dr. Faizah daripada breakout 3 dia minta bantuan. Saya hantar doktor boleh?
Boleh.
Saya hantar je doktor. Okey. Dr. Rahijan. Doktor. Assalamualaikum doktor. Dr. Rahijan.
Ya, Waalaikumsalam.
Doktor saya remove balik. Lepas tu saya masukkan balik ke doktor dalam grup. Doktor eh?
Ya, ya.
Okay. Hello, Dr. Sofia. Baik. Tu keluar. Ya. Hello, Dr. Saizan. Doktor. Baik, Dr. Saizan pun keluar. Boleh ingatlah mana-mana nama ni, nama main random je. Tak apa je kot. Dr. Azizul.
Ya, saya.
Tadi
Saya,
doktor grup mana tadi, doktor?
Sorry, saya kena... Saya tak boleh nak sambung lah. Sorry, Dr. Azza. Sebab ada hal sikit.
Doktor mute.
Thank you, Dr. Zul. I enjoy having you in my class. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Azza, for the knowledge. Saya first time guna ni. Hello. Boleh gunalah lepas ni. InsyaAllah.
Budak-budak senang lah. You senang nak tengok budak punya kerja.
Betul-betul.
Okay, well done. Thank you so much, Dr. Zul.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Dr. Mel, sorry Dr. Mel. Tadi I telah dihantar ke tempat lain untuk menjawab soalan. You called me just now, ya?
Dr. Melissa, saya remove balik Nanti saya masukkan balik, doktor.
Tak, bukan apa. Saya terpaksa keluar sebab semua members senyap.
Oh.
Sebenarnya Dr. Azizul. So, terus I tengok dia leave. So, dalam group session tu ada 2 orang lagi.
Ada 2 orang.
So macam apa discussion macam tak ada discussion apa.
Okay, tak apa. Dila, tolong bawa dia orang kat sini, Dila. Semua yang dalam group tu bawa ke main page.
Yang mana? Yang group 7?
Group Dr. Mel.
Okay, boleh. Okay, dah doktor.
Kesian you all tak ada benda terjadi kan?
Nanti terus tiba-tiba Dr. Azizul kata banyak belajar semua malam senyap je dalam group.
Okay. So yang Syazana ni bukannya PBI kan? Syazana kan?
Ya, doktor.
Dila
PBBI.
PBBI, sorry, PBI lagi PBBI. Okay, so Mel, Dr. Rosaida dengan Dr. Muhammad Najib, tak dapat nama pula. Okay, so what you are going to do is among the 3 of you, discuss kat main group ni pun tak apa. Discuss the topic yang you all dah suggested just now, you brainstorm and then you actually choose one topic yang you rasa ni boleh contributor paling ramai untuk bantu to do this topic, and then you bahagi-bahagi tugas. Dr. Mel kena buat apa, Dr. Rosaida kena buat apa, Dr. Muhammad kena buat apa. So you do that. Tu je, simple je. 4 minit siap.
Saya tahu, tapi mereka senyap.
Oh, dia orang tak ada dekat dalam dunia ni?
That's right I mean. I'm ghosted. Itu maksud saya.
I think so too. Okay, now I understand. Okay, tak apa, Mel. Dia orang tak ada, tak apa. Kita cakap benda lain lah, Mel. Mel, jawapannya nanti collaborative learning terus kasi jawapan. Astagfirullahaladzim.
Itu jawapannya. No, because I was thinking, if say katakan on a serious note, I mean with the topics that you suggested, actually more of wanted to follow up with, you know, when you mentioned about the my whole project with the students and how if we can do like a future project yang agak besar sikit, I would like to actually do a proper collaborative work rather than this for the sake of assignment. But I don't sure how to go about it. So I think there's a lot of potential with our RRC department because we want to try doing even macam a membership tau. So much so that like if you're familiar with macam museums like overseas kan, how they have the volunteer program.
Yeah.
So in that sense, maybe for hers, we can at least start out with the students membership, but somehow I want to take it to the next level where anybody who has this membership card, it's applicable to all museums. So it's like macam they either get a form of discount or macam free ticket untuk masuk because they have volunteered in a museum. So they sort of know at least the basics of, depending lah, because museums, I believe Malaysian ones, they should have a standard protocol. But at the same time, like say the RRC, it's more specific to catering to marine natural heritage.
Yeah.
So of course you have your cultural heritage, etc. Lain-lain semua. So, but with the purpose of this membership, it can also sort of give accessibility to more museums in Malaysia lah. That's one. I think we also need to give that exposure for how specifically it can natural history museums, the importance for long-term sustainability, that aspect lah kita nak belajar, you know.
Okay, for me, I think I tremendously agree with the idea, memang menarik sangat-sangat. However kan, Mel, I think at this point of time, many would not grasp that knowledge yet, tapi I rasa kena start dulu. Maksudnya, RRC, you have to start somewhere first. For example, you start with a module. For example, a module for, say, primary school kids. They have this set of things that they have to visit each booth, or each booth contains a lot of videos, contains a lot of materials, whatever you have online. And then they have to complete, say, worksheets on things, coloring, whatever kan. But then, say you have 3 levels, you only give the free one, level 1 and level 2.5. If it's interesting enough, people will actually have to be a member or have to pay subscriptions, for example, to complete level 2.5 to 3. You know, so then sebab kalau you terus kasih membership, people won't know the importance of it. Orang macam kenapa? You know,
I think it's still very that one is sort of more of a later stage. But I think what you say is very true with regards to modules. That is why what we're trying to do, at least I'm trying through my course to establish the undergraduate course, so that from there we use students' resources to actually sort of create all these aspects, you know, like establishing the module, establishing the video. So I'm even creating like a YouTube channel so that all of the students' assignments, kalau kat lab, rather than just like a report, make about videos, so that students can see, oh, how this is prepared, how. So we're doing it step by step so that every semester, katakan wet preservation tu ada, tapi different specimens will be different videos over time. So there'll be like a collection of all that. So it'll be like video modules. We're also establishing the, walaupun dah 3 semester, tapi yeah, we're still in the midst of sort of expanding all of our modules so that once it's established, and then I'm also applying to the MOOC, tapi oleh sebab COVID masih tak berkesempatan. So all of these different platforms that we're trying to establish in the hopes of later sort of getting hold of schools. Schools have also been on my mind, but I realized with the KTEC grant macam a bit far-fetched to go full-on Malaysia. So memang kita kena establish the local Terengganu ones with equivalence to eco schools that is done with WWF.
Yeah, true.
If you're familiar with that, yeah. So, but I, to my understanding, they do not have a marine module yet. So at least kalau katakan there are, say UMT together with collaboration with WWF and a few other members, maybe to Ocean Hope Kappa, to sort of establish the module through schools, macam, and then through a club. So that teachers are supposed to be there to facilitate. So we are always in collaboration with them. Tapi they will always be a continuum. So I learned this experience of eco school through my school. It's a private school in KL. So they have very dedicated teachers that teach them full on macam sustainability and then how to use waste, etc. So it's not, but the strength for Terengganu will be more of that marine module lah, saya rasa. But of course other things also can come in. So it won't just have to be nampak macam RRC je yang macam full on, you know, it can establish to many modules. It's so big, but I don't know how to start and I need help.
Okay, I'm just going to give you some ideas. Okay, this is actually a non-formal education in the sense that to start off, maybe to pilot whatever you have, the first thing that you can do is you engage with, for example, Sea Scout. Sea Scout. And make it an international or national activity. I'm using my daughter's example again because every year for Girl Guides, they have like 10 international activities because they need to go for macam Pandu Putri Diraja, things like that. They have to actually accomplish a few. In doing so, for example, I think the last time ialah a group from Australia, dia panggil TIDE project, TIDE project. They talk about microplastics. They only talk about plastics within the Girl Guide associations ni. So the modules bila I tengok kan macam memang benda-benda yang budak-budak degree belajar, but it's diluted. But they teach kids about microplastics. So this is what you can do. You can propose to, for example, Sea Scout or even Girl Guides Association of Malaysia, and you can kata you nak buat benda international. So then you just give them a proposal and a complete study module and where to find the information. Make sure RRC is one of them so that you can get the data out of it. That's why I think your work with your students, Dr. Mel, you started with cooperative learning whereby the students do their work individually and then you have a bigger worldview. Your worldview is you want to combine them to make it as a dictionary of RRC, of all the specimen, but in a very short video forms. Kan? The maximum is 5 minutes, I think, hari tu. So when they do that, the kids can choose which one is interesting for them and they can talk about it. So that's Ocean Literacy and that's Ocean Decade 2030. You know, from cooperative, you can make it big to a collaborative one. But you have to start somewhere. Sebab kalau kita terus start dengan, as you said just now, banyak-banyak platform, it's very hard to actually impress them when we have done nothing yet. But when you have data, a set of data to say that it worked with, say, Sea Scout, whereby 1,050 students actually participated and this is the outcome that we had. Usually, diorang guna apa? Diorang guna hashtags. Hashtags, bila diorang just download hashtags, dia akan tahu berapa banyak hashtags lah yang dapat. So, they actually calculated, that's the input of Ocean Literacy that they get lah. So, that's how they do. Basically, what you do is actually education. Education pun tahu sebenarnya Dr. Mel. You punya RRC ni education. To educate people. So you kena dah start cari kawan-kawan from, I think USM memang ada USM Education and Environment and UPM as well. They are teaching education environment.
Maaf Doktor.
Ya, boleh Dila 30 saat, you kasih 30 saat suruh semua masuk main room
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks also Dr. Azza for your input.
Sebab I rasa Mel, I rasa with INOS lah, in particular I can say it because I hear it every day kan. It's really your creativity. Whatever you think works and whatever you think can actually reach a bigger audience, will actually make an impact. Sebab sekarang ni it really depends on how you want to tackle it. Though I know that the hardships you
actually I think that is more where with the ideas we already have that plot of, as in what we need to establish in terms of our foundation and then how we can move further up tau. Tapi it's just that whole in some of my parts that I've mentioned in the that brainstorming session, I macam memang kena ada people from IT aspect, even social science aspect, memang kena banyak pulling a lot of people. So that's what I think I need help lah.
nanti.
Yeah, and I think one thing about INOS, I think that's interesting because they have that already. So it's not pelik anymore because Prof. Wanizatul is from social sciences, Dr. Nazli is from, so it's not hard to actually propose that idea because benda tu dah ada. So people understand why you have to actually take people from other fields. And especially I think with the new VC, he will understand better because baru-baru ni kan they got 2 million for LRGS. For LRGS, the longitudinal, they have to have social sciences within the team because if not, the knowledge cannot be dispersed into the community. So that's a major part and yang I rasa a lot of people are looking at now, dispersing knowledge to the local community.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So I agree with you to start local first. Maksudnya, I always tell to my friends as well, to the young lecturers of Popal as well, try local first because I think it's unfair for us to have a university in Kuala Nerus, but the people around us are not. They cannot benefit from us. We've got a lot of knowledge, tapi tak dapat apa pun. People still beli ikan bayan, which is wrong, but it's wrong. You know, things like that, even small things like that. So, benda-benda ginilah kena start from us dulu. Yeah, somewhere. So, if you need connections with JPNT, I think a few of us have connections with JPNT. You boleh connect dengan Marine, Persatuan Alam Sekitar Sekolah, things like that. Start kat situ dulu. You panggil semua cikgu-cikgu to do a project. Best je sebenarnya, banyak je boleh buat.
Awesome. I would really appreciate that, and I would like to definitely seek your advice and your collaboration as well. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, thank you so much everyone. Okay, lagi 4 minit je I ada. So for just now, thank you semua punya. Thank you bang. Kuat pula cakap. My husband pergi beli air. Jadi air adalah benda yang sangat berharga sekarang ini di rumah I. So okay. For the project that you've done just now, the one that you've done in groups just now, was it collaborative or cooperative learning, where you actually propose an article together? Collab or cooperative? Chat box. Orang nombor 7 yang cakap, I akan tanya why, okay? Bersedia orang nombor 7 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lepas tu tak ada siapa jawab sebab takut jadi nombor 7. Lagi kuman. Seriously, jawab semua. Korang tak baik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Dr. Nizam. I kata nombor 7 kan? I suka macam ni. Lepas tu gelak sendiri. Okay, Dr. Nizam. Why do you say it's a collaborative learning?
Collaborative sebab kita masa kita nak decide benda tu pun kita bincang. Maksudnya tak ada orang pun assign untuk we need to collaborate to decide the title, and at the same time we decide the direction of the paper, and then we will combine the whole segment yang siap nanti untuk jadi satu topik lah, satu paper.
Cantik. Okay, Dr. Nizam, personally, do you think this can work in our area of field dekat kerja kita, boleh tak rasa?
Dr. Azza, I really thank you to you because I think this is something yang I really searching for. Before this, I tak tahu yang Trello boleh buat macam ni because kita orang hanya buat mesyuarat je guna Trello. So macam tak ada benda yang macam ni lah. So bila doktor ajar macam ni, dia really open my eyes. Because terlalu bergantung pada WhatsApp, but I think it's not good lah because sometimes kita tak nampak effort dia kan. Dia punya, macam bila kita nak bagi markah, dia punya effort tu macam susah nak nampak sebab macam ni kita boleh nampak kan dia punya progress. Macam kita yang ketua tu kita boleh nampak dia punya progress from one one step to another. So I think thank you Dr. Azza for sharing us this wonderful knowledge.
Seriously, this alhamdulillah. But for me, I think the Trello is actually a lot of trial and error for me. I've done this like from 5 semesters kot I buat benda ni. I'll just show you one yang I rasa menarik jugalah. I'll just share you one. Kalau dia buka. Okay, this is what I did with, I think yang kawan-kawan fisheries tahu kot, these are your students, your diploma students sekarang dah degree kan. So I use this as their projects, their projects that they have to go to schools. They do this, tapi waktu tu kan, I masa tu pergi I went to umrah at this time. Tapi benda tu, umrah tu kan, walaupun hanya 12 hari, but I took longer than, I took 15 days off. Tapi 2 minggu dalam waktu semester tu is a long period of time kalau diorang tak buat apa-apa. So I give them Trello and I check Mekah, dekat Mekah dengan Madinah, keberkatan di situ, what they did. And the pictures are actually the attendance. I want to see they attended the meeting, they do it together. And kalau yang ajak UOP macam Sharon mungkin perasan kot, these are actually parts of proposal, apa kena ada? Goals and objectives, statement of needs, activity planning. So memang ada here. Okay, so this is what I did with the diploma students sebelum ni lah. So I get all the projects here, mudah. So that's one example I'm giving you. The second example I'm giving you is, jangan cakap siapa yang ni Remember semalam, I tak tahu siapa yang pergi Nobel semalam, yang OBE. So this is where we start. We started here. All the admin, meeting, workshop, semua dekat sini. So all the documents, bab 1 siapa buat, bab 2 siapa buat, bab 3 siapa buat, semua we started from here. We started from Trello. Dr. Wazuhaini started this. And then all the documentations were put in Trello, not in Google Drive. Because it's easier for us to find where, dekat mana. So Dr. Yam, Dr. Sharifah and Dr. I, we were in charge in for this, bab 4, so what we need to do for it. So for us, for me, Trello has been very beneficial for all of us because it helps us to actually know, satu, senang cari barang dekat mana. Dua, it can actually arrange our mind lah, mana nak cari benda. It is quite easy. Again, it's people's preferences. Ada yang tak suka, ada still suka the old method, tak apa. It is just that for now, I'm just going to give all of you options. Okay, options on what to do. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna ask 3 names ya. 3 names of what you learned today. A bit je, okay? Yang belum cakap, okay? Alia jiranku, Alia Fahada. Alia, hari ni Dr. Alia nak belajar apa, Alia?
Oh, about Trello. Saya tak pernah tahu pasal Trello.
Okay.
Okay. And also collaborative versus cooperative.
Good.
And tried our best to make our teaching and learning more engaging.
Thank you. Okay. So, Alia, before this kan, you dalam kelas buat kooperatif ke, kolaboratif ke, dua-dua?
Kooperatif.
Kooperatif so individual yang akan hasilkan project. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is not just for Alia, for everyone, okay? For example, okay, usually presentations, we ask our students to do slides, and students usually take this cooperative way, meaning that slide 1 student A buat, slide 2 student B buat, slide 3 student C buat. However, sometimes I like to make it difficult for them. Like to make it suka lah, sebab itu I kan lecturer, I kan buat apa-apa I suka kan. So I like to make it collaborative. How? By telling them, okay, masa presentation I will choose who present what. Okay, hence they will change from cooperative, seorang buat combine the whole slide, it automatically become collaborative sebab semua orang kena belajar from each other. Okay, kenapa kau buat slide 1 macam ni, kau cuba explain. Kenapa slide 3 macam ni, kau cuba explain. So everybody will know everything on the slide. They will know the whole project or the whole topic that you assign them. Because just the simple instruction that I give to them, I will choose who present what on the day of presentation. Okay, so memang orang lain akan contribute, but then everybody needs to learn about everything. So it can change from cooperative to collaborative. Okay, all right. Dr. Yuari Faradia, sedap ni nama you. Yuari Faradia, what did you learn,
Yes.
Dr. Yuari?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Azza. First is about the apa namanya? That's one the first time I learned the moment.
Trello.
The Trello, yeah. And still in learning, not familiar, but thank you very much. I got feeding about the Trello one, and also just now you're very high valuable input for me in order to combine the cooperative become collaborative. Yes. Because usually we only depend on the group leader, right? The group leader have to explain whatever, but sometimes, or not sometimes, but more often the members, they only think about their task and then let the group leader to combine everything and let the pressure on the group leader. But this is based on your currently information. It's good. Not only the group leader have to do the presentation, the group leader only to guide, to give direction, but I will follow your suggestion. By the end, I will choose who do the presentation. So everybody not just point to the group leader.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, about the how to move the cooperation become collaborative. Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Just one last one, okay? One last one. I pilih Dr. Rohana.
You choose me. Okay, what I can learn from this is also the first time I got to know about Trello, because by teaching all the time, by teaching the subjects of policy, human capitals, and more on the policy, I normally use in the class based on my experiences, and also based on the case study, which is we hardly use this type of game because it's like a bit dry for polity or policy, which is we have to what I call that, to give examples of the real situations relevant to the subject's policy matters. So, but this is quite fun and interesting. Maybe I can apply this for the certain situation which maybe on the subjects of the human capital management. But what I can say is, it seems like Dr. Yuari said that we are always use a collaborative use a cooperative rather than collaborative, because we realize we give the cases on what, and then we let them present it based on their preparation of the slides. What I will be definitely to use for the, thank you so much for your suggestions, that next semester I will use that. I don't want we choose that. Not them to stick to the slide. Learn something new today. I think that is what I can say, I can share with yours today.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hanam. Okay, I'm just going to, I think there's a few Possessor lecturers here. I'm just giving you a bit of advertisement, cerita sikit lah. I taught Possessor students, I think 3 semesters back. One of the projects, mini projects that I gave them, I gave them an issue, a real issue at that time was actually environmental issue in Johor at that time. And I say, you are the person in charge, the policy maker in charge in Kementerian Alam Sekitar. You are there. So what should be done? I want you to find all the policies and what are the things that you should do according to policy. You know, but this is in UOP class. I'm doing in UOP class, and I was amazed on how quick they can find all the policies. However, they the failure, not the failure, the downside was they cannot actually say their ideas clearly. Itu I nampak, sayang lah. Diorang dah ada idea ni, semua benda dah ada on the table, tapi diorang tak boleh cakap. So I think that's our job. I don't think this is a policy. I think ni kebanyakan pun isu dia gitu. We just need to teach our learners on how to actually verbalize their ideas in the brain. Dia ada dah benda dalam brain. Kadang yang ada dah, tapi kenapa korang tak cakap? You need to say it. You need to actually organize your mind properly. That's not just our work at final year, during final year. I think that's the thing that all of us needs to do together. Sebab at workplace nowadays, that's what they want. The stakeholders wants that. The stakeholders want people who can actually voice out their opinion very clearly, cohesively, not just verbally, maybe in written form as well. So we might have to think of assignments, of tasks that lead them towards that, insyaAllah. Okay, so Dila, sebelum I habis Dila, I think when you go to Trello later Dila dengan siapa tadi yang lagi tak ingat siapa tadi lagi seorang.
Dah keluar doktor.
Sedih. Okay, yang dah ada semua contribution dengan Trello tu semua dah maksudnya lulus lah this course sebab you all kan sebenarnya ada markah sebenarnya. So yang ada contribution dalam Trello tu they actually fulfilled the objective of the course, alhamdulillah, and from our conversation pun kita dah nampak they understood the differences between collab and cooperative. Okay, alright, I thank you each and every one of you for participating today. I hope two hopes. First is I want everyone to switch on your camera. Kita ambil gambar dahulu seketika. That's my first hope. My second hope is that whatever learning and teaching happening in our own classes, I'm sure all of us have great ideas that we need to share. Find a platform somewhere. Cakap Dr. Shah, I nak share benda ni. Cakap dengan Dila, I nak share benda ni dekat orang lain. So approach Dila. Because I'm sure you all kan banyak gila idea. Banyak idea but just need to share it. Benda kadang simple je. But it's meaningful. It doesn't have to be 2 hours. Macam I suka cakap jadi 2 jam. It can be just an hour pun kadang cukup sharing. But it has to be hands on lah. Sebab kalau tak hands on payah sikit orang nak buat. Okay, kamera gadis-gadis dan jelitawan dan perawan-perawan. Anak ambil gambar. Pakai telekung pun tak apa. I tahu you all tak nak video. Hey, apa you buat dalam kereta tu, Kamila? Cari air ke?
Cari air.
Kita orang hari ni kena cari homestay. Tak boleh lah 8 orang dekat rumah kan. Tak ada air, it's hard. 8 people in the house.
Ya, ada lagi.
Where's your pokok-pokok kawan? Itu buku-buku. Where's your pokok? Where's your farm space? Okay? Oh tu Dr. Nuzulani punya muka. Okay. Alright. Ni je kot. Dila.
Okay, Dila ambil Okay.
Alright.
1, 2, 3. Sekali lagi
Alright.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sekejap tengok grup yang sebelah.
Ramai dalam kereta.
Okay doktor.
Thank you so much semua. Semoga urusan kita dipermudahkan for everyone.
Thank you.
Selamat isi markah. Jangan lambat. Nanti kena dapat surat.
Wetan.
Okay, you're done. Oh, bagus.
Terima kasih banyak doktor.
Sorry Dila.
Terima kasih doktor sudi meluangkan masa. Terima kasih juga pada semua. Assalamualaikum.
Terima kasih semua. Bye.